Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome once again. This is Jeremy Speaks on Everything. This is the 5th episode. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to me on YouTube if you already haven't. For those of you that are new, this is my weekly radio show where I will do what the title implies, and that is speak on everything. This week on the Thursday episode, we're going to be speaking about what we talked about Tuesday, or what I talked about. Like, share, subscribe, comment, criticize. It is all welcome. That is what I say on my YouTube channel. I want to give out that call-in number for those who may be thinking about calling in. That number is 347-994-3320. Once again, that call-in number for those who are listening, is 347-994-3320. Now, I'm hoping that I do have someone who told me they were going to call in, and I'm hoping that they do. I would like to speak with this person. As a matter of fact, I went to school with this man in middle school. Shout out Southside Middle. I work with him currently at my job. We work together. And I'm hoping that he calls in so we can discuss some things. I think that it'll be a very interesting discussion to have. But earlier this week, I put up some facts, or I wouldn't say I put up facts. I kind of talked about some research I have been doing into black heroes, or who I consider historical figures that should be called heroes. It was a few of them I didn't know anything about. Of course, I wanted to stay away from the atypical Harriet Tubmans or Martin Luther Kings and things of that nature. I wanted to stay away from that. I wanted to learn something about somebody I hadn't been taught about, and I think I did a pretty good job of doing that. I think in my research, I also found out that there's some things about myself, like what region of West Africa am I from, that I really got interested in. So my new subject matter to research this week is the transatlantic slave trade, just because it's something slavery kind of gets glossed over. When it comes to history, they just kind of gloss over, it happened, just get over it. Well, I'm interested in the story behind why it happened. I want to know who profited off of it, because we didn't get here on our own. There was a boat, there was a ride, and we were here working. Anyway, I do have a couple of topics that I wrote down in my notes in preparing for the show this week, and one of them I'm looking right now is black men fathering. I joined this group on Facebook it's got black fathers, and I'm proud to be a part of that group. But I feel like as fathers, I shouldn't have to go and show off. It's okay to show off and all this, but a lot of people do that, like on the days where they have their kids and they take pictures and they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that, and this is a personal opinion, I don't think that that's something that you should do if you're a good parent. Like, your kid would post pictures of you, right? I think it'd be interesting to go through groups like that and look and see how many of those men's children post pictures of them. But whatever. Also, earlier this week, I talked about black men speaking to each other instead of being violent towards each other. Greenwood, the town that I'm from, just recently, like as of this morning, maybe last night, had another murder here. And I don't understand it. Why can't we just talk to each other? Why we got to kill? Or, at the very, very worst, why can't we just throw fists and punch each other and then hug it out? Why killing somebody is so final. And it always sucks when the person doing the killing or the person getting killed, both actually are the same color, same hue, however you want to phrase it. It's heartbreaking because it's no need for it, you know? People these days are scared to take ass whoopings. That's why everybody's so quick to grab a gun and shoot. You know, if you take an ass whooping, I don't even call that ass whooping a bad thing. Sometimes it's character carving. You know, it's getting you ready for that next step in life, shaping your character. You know, I didn't at the time of getting picked on, I never thought about going to get a gun, you know, when I was a kid. No, it was, man, stand up and fight or don't. But shooting somebody, I don't know. I want to give out that call-in number again. That is 347-994-3320. And I do have some questions for my caller when he calls in. Let me go through. Yeah, I have a couple of questions for him. I want to get his viewpoint on things. I want to see how he thinks, because we are in the process of taking that first step toward figuring out what we have to do as black males. African males. I work hard at that. What we have to do as African males in this country to get along with each other. All right. I do have a section here but before I get to that section, I do have a section of notable, as they call it, black history figures. I don't think that term shouldn't just apply. You know, I have one right here, Queen of Sheba. She was a biblical figure, but it says black above it. Like, we don't know what she was, but we just label it as black. That's why I hate that label. Also, when it comes to this radio show, I am going to upload these to my channel, not my Jeremy Speaks channel. I have a channel that I have started with games. You know, I play video games on this channel and whatnot. And I figured that would be a better place to put stuff like this, as I want to keep my Jeremy Speaks channel, or start maintaining my Jeremy Speaks channel, is strictly for wrestling. So the channel that this particular and every Blog Talk Radio episode will be aired on will be on my channel called the Negro Sports League. I just thought it was funny to call it that. It'll be on the Negro Sports League on YouTube. That way, if you're interested in seeing me talk about the things that I talk about on my radio show, but you're unable to get the Blog Talk Radio, it'll be on YouTube, and I'll share the link. Or I want to learn how to do some editing of audio, so I presented that as a challenge to myself. And also, it don't hurt to have two channels. You know, you never can have too many channels. I got to thinking about this station, and I decided that Tuesdays, and from now on, the structure of the show will be Tuesdays are like in school, lectures, right? You'd have lectures in school. Tuesday lecture, Thursday lab. Lab meaning we interact, we talk, we communicate with each other, we disagree, we agree to disagree, and we produce something from it. So Tuesdays, I'll be speaking primarily 25, 30 minutes. I don't want that day for callers. Thursday is when I want my callers to call in. And speaking of calling in, that number, one more time for those who don't know it right off the top of their head, I have it right here, 347-994-3320. So on to some notable, quote unquote, people. I'll say people of African origin. I know I say males, but you know, we got to give women their respect too, because they've done some things that, like, I'm learning that women who have African origins, they're pretty significant to the history of this country as well. I want to give myself a pat on the back for that one. I just think I'm learning a lot about these people that I wasn't taught about, and I like that. All right, I'm going to go with my first one here. It's Noble Drew Ali. He was born Timothy Drew, but he's known as Noble Drew Ali. He was the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1913. He promoted belief that African Americans are of Moorish ancestry, specifically the Moroccan Empire. Ooh. He rejected derogatory labels such as black, colored, and Negro. See, I like this guy already, even though he's been dead for like, I don't know, almost 100 years, 90 years. I like this guy already because he rejects derogatory labels such as black, colored, and Negro. That's pretty awesome. Because I don't like those labels either. I can't stand them. I can't stand the label black, colored, and Negro's a funny one. My question has always been, if we're black, why do we get called a word that means brown? That's some food for thought for you right there. See, the word that's used towards us in a derogatory sense, or racial slur as we call it, it means brown in Portuguese. So, but we're black. Anyway, I'm getting off subject here. Noble Drew Ali included Noble Drew Ali included the projected ideologies of spiritual growth and evolution, as well as enlightenment and oneness of Allah. Now, I've said in my videos, and I said last week, I'm not that big on religion. I believe that whatever you believe in that gets you through the day or from day to day, I believe that that's what you believe in. I have things I believe in too, but it's religion is based up to what you believe in. Anyway, I just had to throw that disclaimer out. He being Mr. Ali here, he also urged Americans of all races to reject hate and embrace love. So that's who I learned about Noble Drew Ali. I also learned a little bit more about Marcus Garvey. I saw Malcolm X as a kid, and the Klan showed up at Malcolm X's mom's house, and he said, one of the Klan members, in one of his moments, he said, we stirring up all the good niggers with that Garvey preaching. So I never knew who the guy was, but I took it upon myself to learn who he was. And I'm going to share that with you all. Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican political leader, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, orator, and proponent of the Pan-Africanism movement. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and while I'm on the subject of, I'm going to come back to this fact in a moment. I do think I have my caller. He is on the line. I would like to cue him in right quick and tell him and welcome him to the show. Hello, caller. Who is on the line with me?
What's going on, man? This is Rodriguez Rappley. You know what I'm saying? How everybody doing today?
All right, my man called in. Let's give my man a round of applause. Hear from him. I got my new sound effect right there, so I just want to play with it for a little bit. All right, man. Well, how you doing? Tell me about yourself. Explain a little bit to the people who you are and what's your point of view.
Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a young, humble guy from Greenwood, South Carolina, man. I'm a homebody. I like to stay at home with my kids, man. And I'm just calling in today, man. I want to speak a little bit about my black folk and what goes on in the black community, what we're facing today, and, some of the obstacles and what we probably can do to help it.
All right. That's the thing. That seems to be the theme of this show, is developing stuff like that. It's developing conversations between each other. I did introduce you earlier and tell everybody our brief history about, we worked together and we attended middle school together. Shout out Southside Middle School. We got to give a hand out. All right. I ain't gonna mess with that sound effect no more. All right. So like I do, we got this problem in Greenwood where these young black, as we call it, black men are just taking each other's lives, and it seems senseless to me. I'd like for you to tell me your thoughts on it and give a little history if you got some. Just share it, man.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest, brother. I got a lot of history on that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this when it comes to what's going on with the young guys out here now, man, and just want to pick up guns and use guns and feel like guns, that's their only way. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of blame us a little bit. The generation before them, the generation before us. You know what I'm saying? It starts with other black men. We have to see other black men that's not necessarily in power, but in power. Show us, you know what I'm saying, which path to take, which way to go. And sometimes, you know, we get big-headed and we feel like we don't need nobody, but nah, you know what I'm saying? We all could have used that guidance. And I feel like without us having guidance, nobody really showed us, you know, what we had to do as young black men to make it. You know what I'm saying? We looked at TV, you know. That's what, you know, kind of guided us, TV and the streets.
Yeah.
But nowadays you got the younger generation, the late 90s babies, 2000 babies. Man, all they got is phones. They got a lot of access to a whole lot of different things that even me and you couldn't fathom when we were kids.
That's true.
Like we you know, we still grew up in an era where, you know, if you got out of line, you know, you'll catch a backhand, a speaker, a stick, a glass, you know, whatever might be in hands reach.
That's right. And I have no problem. Let me just say to anybody who may listen to this episode, I have no problem with you whooping your children's ass. As a matter of fact, that would help out and go a long way, because I will whoop my kids' ass before I bury you. Anyway, just want to point that out for anybody who may hear this.
And you know,
so
a lot of parents don't agree with that.
I'm a shit. No, that's part of the problem. I remember it was a point in time in history where you could get your ass whooped 3 times in one day. You could catch it at school, you could catch it when you got home, and you could catch it when whoever else got home later that night. That's a personal story. I remember, and I turned out fine. I grew up, I got a job I'm trying to have. There's nothing wrong with whooping asses.
Period. Period.
All right, and I want to ask you. I want to get your opinion on something, man. I want to get your. I had to wrote out a couple of questions that I had prepared for the last time we were supposed to speak. And how do we bridge the gap, like you said, between our generation and their generation? How do we bridge that gap so that we can say, hey man, it's okay if you come talk to me. Hey man, it's okay if you come, you know, like come to me for advice. How do we get through to that generation? And how do they get through to us?
Man, I'm gonna try to answer that question as good as I can, because when it comes to that, it's gonna take a lot from both sides. And first, it's gonna have to be respect. We're gonna have to find a common ground that's gonna make them want to actually come meet or come talk, you know, to where they can express themselves and we can express ourselves. But my only problem is that is when you got guys, you know, in our generation, you know, out there painting the pictures to the younger generations that like they live the lives that the younger generation is living now. And we both know, like, you know, we might have had a few fights, you know what I'm saying, or maybe a lot of fights, but we never had gun violence. Nobody ever really toted guns. And the ones that did, they normally, you know, their homicide was against the clouds. You know, like nobody ever pointed or aimed a gun at nobody. You know, we wasn't having people riding around shooting up people's houses. And for the ones that actually did use the guns, you knew who that was, so you knew to stay clear if you knew you wasn't about their life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these you got some of our generation making up these lies and stories like, oh, well, we was out here doing this and doing that. No, just simply let them know we was out here, but we was beating ass with our hands.
We had, that went to the wreck. You know, like when we were coming up, we had the wreck. Like, you know, like if you got a cousin or you got a brother and he going to the wreck and he's supposed to be watching you, well, guess who else gonna go to the wreck? You know, and that's where I saw plenty of niggas get dumped on. I seen niggas, you know, you saw crazy shit, but it was like, in my opinion, that community, that little bit of connection that we had with each other then, when they took it from us, they broke it in us in this town. And it just, you know, it splintered everybody every which way. They can't play football no more.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go to the Y unless you pay, and everybody ain't got their bread like that. So that's when that Y, I feel like that's what a disconnect happened in our generation. I know that's when I quit talking to one of my cousins, and we grew up, we was almost like brothers. He was at my house, and But you go to the rec, you know, it's time to grow up a little bit, you know. But how you feel about that?
I mean, man, honestly, man, coming from a kid that grew up maybe a 2-minute walk from the rec, and I mean right behind the basketball court on the outside, you know, I'm going to skip and hop to the baseball field. I mean, that was all we had. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the age of 3-4 years old up to on in high school, the rec was all we had. Like, that was a common ground. Like, if you come to the rec, I don't care if you're from east side, south side, west side, north side, wherever. Everybody gonna come to the rec. That's why I say nowadays, I don't, you know, you try to say you don't understand this generation, but if you really, you know, take a look at it and just open your eyes, it's different because now these kids really growing up section off unless they're going to school together. See, at the rec, that common ground to where you got everybody that from every side of town is gonna be right here at this one place, and you're not gonna come up here mad every day. You're gonna get along with these same people from these different sides of town. You're gonna play with them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them become your friends. You know, and it's not just a rec thing. This is a thing to where just being able to walk to the store for us back in the day was something big, because see, it was a whole lot more discipline. You couldn't just do what you wanted to do. Your parents might knew you was at the rec, but they knew somebody at the rec. They knew you. They knew, okay, well,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
you know
that message beat your ass. That, you know, if you acting up, that shit was gonna beat you back home before you got there.
Period.
No
Period.
Facebook,
and then,
no text messages, none of that.
Yeah, and then you had a guy. You had Doc Stevens. Steve.
Yeah.
Steve had the bullhorn, and if Steve see you doing anything, guess what? Everybody from the rec down to the baseball field, the basketball court in that little neighborhood gonna know you did it because he's gonna call you out on the bullhorn. Right there. So, man, it's like these kids, they really growing up section off. And like I said, they got a lot of social media. They looking at the fake ass rappers and thinking that that's really how they living. When half of these guys, either 50% of them broke, 35% of them really got a little something. They don't even fuck with the people they used to fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the goddamn other 15% don't give a fuck at all. So
that's true.
I look at it like we just gonna have to find that common ground, man. Somebody gonna have to be the bigger person. But I hate to say something catastrophic is gonna really have to happen to get everybody's attention. And evidently, people getting killed ain't gonna do it because they seem like they get used to it. You know, I hate to say
they normalize it.
Yeah, and it ain't gonna take but for a white cop in this little town to do something and it really make nation headlines for people to feel like, oh, this, that, and the other. But you know, I'm not gonna speak my opinion on cops. They may be a subject, you know.
Hey, yeah, we can. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pencil that in for next Thursday. I'm gonna go ahead because I'm gonna go ahead and start writing something around that, you know, because I got a certain feeling too. I did a video not too long ago, and I explained to my kids yesterday that I could go out here and a traffic stop could go bad, and they was like, but why would somebody do that? But that's a subject for next week, you know. That is a subject for next week.
Yeah, you know, and I'm gonna speak my honest truth about those guys too.
Hey man, see, you said the word speak, and that's why I'm so glad you called in, because this right here, like, before you came to where we work, I ain't gonna shout out no employer, they ain't sponsoring the channel yet, but before you came, I hadn't seen you since 13, 14.
Yeah.
It can't be like that no more, man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start challenging people like I challenge myself. Speak to 5 people that look like you every day and tell them to speak to 5. That's the only way to try to get some common ground. We got to talk to each other, because if we don't, they killing us and we not even getting together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And not even thinking about it.
I'm gonna do a hand clap on
man,
that.
People, including myself, man, it's gonna take a lot of growing up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a lot of discipline. And and we can make it happen.
I do believe we will make it happen, but we gotta like, I'm curious as to these black-owned businesses. Excuse me, and you're gonna come to learn. I hate using that label, black, colored, Negro. I hate all of them because at one point we weren't black. They called us kings and pharaohs. Just saying.
And if I can chime in on that point right there, real quick, I feel like as a people, we really do need to find out. You know what I'm saying? What it is we really are, because black is really not. It's not an identity. You know what I'm saying? And that was shout out to my uncle who just gave me that point. You know what I'm saying? It's not an identity. And that's why if our people don't understand, that's why the police and whomever keeps getting away with murder, because you screaming out a black person when a black person don't exist. You see what I'm saying?
It don't exist. That's right.
We are the only species on this planet, in this country, whose distinct identification has been changed 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they black, they African American, they Negroes, they colored. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is to be honest, brother. This is how small-minded. And this is why I really be upset with my people. And trust me, I don't know everything because I'm still learning. But this is how small-minded we are. And this is how they mock us in our faces. If you fill out an application for any job, and if you read up on the ethnicity, when you look up on the Native American, and I'm not even going to go to our race, in black words, they have the original, the first. They basically let you know that the Native Americans were here before all of y'all, before us. But who do you think that the Native Americans really are? Because honestly, man, there's
don't do that to him now. Don't don't do that to him.
I got to do it to him, brother. There's no possible way in the HEL, double hockey stick, that you're going to put 75 to 100 to 200 slaves on a ship, sail across an ocean from 2, 3, 4, 5 months. You don't have enough water for the crew, let alone the slaves. How are you going to give the slaves water? How are you going to preserve your food coming across an ocean where you're going to run into all kind of trouble? You got storms. You don't know nothing about where you're going. You never navigated this far, period. And you don't give that black African credit who was navigating the ship for you, because Columbus didn't know where the hell he was going. The only reason why they called the Indians or they feel like that because they thought they was in India. And you didn't even land in India. You landed in
Hey man, I got you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
On the coast. But my thing is this, brother. You're not gonna make it across the ocean and no one is gonna survive. Which you got slaves trained up, they're shitting and pissing. It's going to be so much ammonia in the air, everybody's going to be sick or half dead by the time the ship reaches its destination. And once again, where's your water coming from? You're not going to store enough barrels of water because water starts to become whatever it sits in for a while. So you're going to get sick off the bacteria that's sitting in that water. So you mean? All right,
then, brother, we about to run out. We about to run out of time. We gonna do this again. We got about 60 seconds. So I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. I would like to thank Mr. Rodriguez Rappley. He will be coming back next Thursday to talk and discuss this out because this man has power in his words when he speaks. I have been Rodriguez. I would like to thank you. Thank you for calling in.
And I look forward to coming back again soon.
All right, and that'll be Jeremy Speaks on Everything, episode 5 today. I hope y'all have a good day. Peace out.
All right.